Tastemakers here live from LA. We got one of the most beautiful studios as our location for the next couple of days, and we're just so blessed. Thank you, God, for
Amen.
For just this beautiful space.
Yeah, and just the opportunities that have been just coming forth.
Yeah, man. Ricky just did a crazy show out here, and I mean, if
more to come.
To say that trap is back is an understatement.
Yeah. We saw it. We saw them just eating it up.
Yes,
it was a buffet, trap buffet.
Trap buffet. Wow, it's a little weird, but but yeah, no, it's been good so far, and I think our whole time out here, we've been obviously thinking about how can we make the best of this and like create content and this and that, and all of it just kind of got us thinking about like that rat race that we're experiencing nowadays. It's a barricade for a lot of artists. It's certainly a stumbling block for some of us more introverted folks that don't like being in front of the camera. Actually, the whole Tastemakers project was supposed to be us. Like, I remember when we first started the Tastemakers project, we wanted to not have our faces on the project.
We're trying to be pretty.
Yeah, we wanted to like just make it about the music, and it's unfortunate that that's just
the
not
worst
possible.
Thing you can do right now.
That is not possible nowadays. Like it's not. It's impossible to just want to let the music speak for itself, because now there's all these other caveats and requirements that are needed to succeed in the music game. Some are good, some are bad, some are a blessing, and some are an opportunity and an open door to do things ourselves that normally we would need a label for, but some are pretty bad. Some are gimmicky.
Right.
So, some of the things that are required of an artist nowadays are gimmicky, and they hold us back. And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about that, bro, because I think, some people are confused, some people are discouraged.
We're definitely we're glad that we have each other to help each other with these perspectives on things, and we're both learning. He's always putting me onto music, I'm putting him onto production,
and we're both learning about the marketing stuff, which dude, it's
marketing is fun.
Listen, all you artists out there, you know how it goes. Like, this is like, it's become like a full-time job to have to which is good. I think it's good that, this has made us more intentional about marketing our projects and
keeps you on your toes.
Ourselves. Yeah. But it can also get really gimmicky, and I think it's it's getting very annoying, like just having to, that I think you said something earlier that was like really stuck with me. You said that we've worked so hard to perfect certain crafts, right? You and I both, on our own respects, and now we have to learn this new thing that you damn near have to go to college for.
Right, and it almost seems like this new thing you have to learn is actually majority of what what makes your career go anywhere. It's like more of like an 80-20. 80% marketing, 20% music, and it's like, well, I want to see it as, hey, there's nobody that makes music like me. Nobody that makes music like we do.
Yeah.
And it's almost like, well, I want to partner up with a person who does marketing the same way that you would collab with another artist. It's like, you want to work with somebody who has that strength, and that's kind of the whole point of being good at that. Like, if you want good marketing, why would you market yourself when you're only 1-2 years into learning marketing? Great, obviously you're doing the best that you can with what you have, but it's almost like
it's delaying your music project, because
exactly,
until you learn how to display it.
Because good, I still believe that good music does market itself. When I mean market itself, I don't mean necessarily to the people, but maybe to people within your industry, to your peers, to people that might actually see this thing and be like, okay, whether it's a label that signs you and then uses their marketing, or if you have a manager that maybe connects you with somebody and there's some kind of deal that's made, where they say, hey, we, take a percentage of royalty, whatever it may be, whatever you have to do. And so I definitely believe that. I think we're kind of jumping the gun of saying like, okay, artists have to just not really focus so hard on the music and focus way more on the marketing side of it. I think it's more so at least understand who you're marketing to. Don't be like a complete don't be completely clueless to your brand, because I think branding and marketing are two completely different things. Branding has way more to do with just the project itself, the product. And the marketing is how you're selling that brand, Right. So it's like we actually, even in a way right now, we're still actually building our brand. I think that's how I kind of want to see it, is that we're still building our brand. So we don't necessarily have a demand for this quote collab from another, marketing expert, because they're like, hey, like that's great and all, but your product is not like worth my time. And not necessarily like, oh, this is bad, or like, oh, you're not worth my time, like, because I'm better than you. It's more, it's just like, no, like, I do this because I need to have a good portfolio.
Yeah.
And some people will believe in us, and some people will see it early on, but I think it's like that's your duty as an artist. And maybe this will give people like maybe a bit of a better feeling about like the whole marketing thing, is see it more as just solidify that branding, so that the marketing kind of happens on its own through maybe like your own fan base on just getting you and just understanding, and maybe they, you have a theme that like, or the thing that you constantly say, catchphrase, whatever it is, they catch on to it,
right?
And they just, like the John Summit, how we feeling, baby? Miami, how we feeling, baby? That's a form of marketing, but it adds to his brand. It's like, okay, only John Summit would say something like that,
right?
So I think it's like that's where I find our sweet spot of marketing, and I think that's kind of this weird uncomfortability that we're in right now, is what we're like, we're trying to see how far we can really take it to where we're like, okay, this is very unnatural.
Yeah.
This doesn't speak to what our branding is.
Rather not post than
you know what I mean? So and I hope what I'm saying maybe resonates to some artists that are like still trying to figure out their whole marketing thing, and almost they feel uncomfortable. It's like, no, this is not what it should be. But I definitely still strongly believe, and I'm sure everybody can agree with me, like that we should leave the marketing to the good marketers and people who went to school for that, the same way that we would leave making music to people who went to Berkeley and people who self-taught for 6, 7, 8 years. Now that I'm here, I am been making music self-taught for 18 years and have done quite a few things, so
I think just like the internet, it's good that you have exposure to these new ways of marketing yourself, of discovery, and it's good that it gives you the opportunity to do so without needing a label or whatever to market yourself. But just how the way that is kind of necessary right now, that tide needs to shift. There definitely needs to be, I guess, more. The necessity the marketing people need to step up more, and even videographers, videographers need to be,
the pressure's on.
They need to be changing their game. Like if you're still making music videos in 2025, like, you got to change that up. Instead of charging for music videos or paying for music videos, you need to be paying for, a bulk content creation, or you need to be more like, you need to be presenting your content in a certain way. In a different way nowadays.
It has to be very integrated with like releases and branding and just like stuff like announcements, and just like it can't just be a music video, and it can't just be a song and a video. It has to be like a song and then a video and then merch and then all this stuff, and like everything has to be kind of tied in with each other. And I kind of do see it though as like a leveling of the playing field, where it's like, okay, like if you're serious, like you're gonna get all these things. You're gonna check all those boxes.
Yeah. There's artists that we see. Shout out Propa. Shout out a lot of the homies that they
still do it.
Labels need them.
Right.
Exactly. You feel me? Because they're doing all the work. They're already doing all the groundwork. But for sure, I think there's a lot of people that could step up outside of the musicians, because the musicians, I think, have a lot of on their plate to come up with something new, to come up with something fresh, and it's not really happening on that front with with marketers. Like, I don't know what marketers are doing right now. I don't know if they're trying to like work with PR agencies or what, but like, I think if you're in marketing right now, if you're a videographer right now, if you're someone who in any way works with content, like with either creating it or displaying it,
I think maybe it's because it's like sort of a bit, in, like marketing itself is a bit institutionalized, because it's like it's something that's in college. It's like it's university.
You need a degree.
So it's like you get a degree and you're like, okay, I'm going to get a corporate or high paying job. So it's like when they see an artist that's still kind of coming up, and it's like there's
screw that.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they definitely don't see the security there, which is completely understandable. But I think there has to be some kind of like industry. Maybe there is, or there needs to be some more. There needs to be more incentive behind, kind of like almost like self-taught marketers, or marketers who are just regular people, who are like myself, a regular person, never went to school ever for music, or had anybody in my family that knew how to do music. I've just enjoyed it and like I'm into it, and have made music for free for the sake of a vision, or for the sake of bringing something that's bigger than me, and sacrificing a lot of my own resources to make it happen.
Right.
So we need people, which I think goes back to like teamwork. I think that's where it's like almost like you kind of keep people around you that have these strengths, and you can see that in them. Like, let's say like a person who just like is able to come up with like these hooks, or these things that we're like struggling with, because
or campaigns,
things that we would not think of, because we're looking on the outside and we're referencing what other people are doing, whereas people are looking at us because they're ones looking at us. We can never see us like in the mirror, and even as us tastemakers as a unit is still one thing. Like, we can't look at this project the way that a consumer does, or the way that a person who's trying to sell you to a consumer does,
right?
Because we're trying to figure that out. That's the whole point of this conversation, is that we don't have it figured out. They have that thing figured out.
Something that's really cool is that, like, for example, when I first graduated, and after, I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I knew I was good at film, but I developed a film career very early on after graduating. So I didn't go to school, and then I didn't feel the need to go to school because I was already learning a lot. So I was like, if I were to go to school, what should I study? And I wanted to study marketing. And so I
fucked up.
Yeah, I know. No, but here's the thing, though. Here's what I'm trying to say. Just like a musician nowadays doesn't need a label, because they can record their own music in their room. They can take the time and educate themselves to produce content and to learn marketing. You gotta pee. Come on, hurry up. It's 8:27, everybody. Come on, clap it up. Yeah. Hey, come here real quick though. I want to let y'all know something, man. Mardi Gras is out right now. Go get Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras is out now. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I was just saying, like, just how like musicians nowadays can bypass the label because of the internet. I think people who want to get into marketing, like how I wanted to get into marketing, they can bypass school. You know what I mean? Just by because you can learn this stuff. You can go online and learn this stuff. You can even passively teach yourself by being a consumer. If you just you just start thinking about the content that you're consuming as, how do I reciprocate that? Mm-hmm. And how do I replicate the shock value? How do I replicate the substance of that piece of content? You can reverse engineer a viral moment. Go ahead, go. Drama, everybody. You can reverse engineer a viral moment. And and study that and learn it. So it's just, I think we're in a great place where we can learn how to do anything we want, and we don't need an agency, we don't need a company in order to succeed. But it shouldn't have to be where you can't succeed if you're not your own company, right, or if you're not your own branding, or So I think there's other aspects of entertainment that need to step up. Marketing needs to step it up. A lot of people need to step it up and realize that they no longer need institutions, that they can go out and get it fresh out of high school students right now can be helping their rapper student friends market themselves.
Exactly. Yeah. It's definitely like a lack of teamwork in that sense, maybe, or maybe
and experience. I mean, we're not used to it.
Right.
Musicians just got into it. They jumped right into it because they're like, okay, I can get FL Studio now on my computer and this and that. But with marketing, it's a little more difficult. I think people haven't realized that they can still do this stuff without a 4-year degree. Like, you can go out, learn what makes viral content, learn learn how to make.
It almost seems like those videos that content that you're talking about, which by the way are very informational, like these videos of marketing and how to like go viral, or even down in the niche of like music. I think that they're marketed to people trying to figure out marketing, and not necessarily like marketing for their brand and for their business, as opposed to marketing just for people, marketers who want to be like, specialized in that. And I think that's what the step up, the more specific side of the stepping up that you're talking about, because it's like the only people that are trying to learn that are people who need that, and like, and it's like, hey, well, I'm, and I think that.
But not the people that are in college learning it.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, even aside from what the demographic specifically is, it's more so people actually wanting to be into that, and like actually saying like, I really do find beauty, because I do find beauty in like good marketing. I'm sure you do as well. I'm sure you see something, you're like, man, that was good. That was genius.
When I see someone execute their idea in a way that it resonates with so many people.
But you're not sitting there like, oh, I want to get into marketing now.
Yeah, right.
That's not where you're at. You're almost appreciating it, maybe even more from an artist standpoint, where you're like, wow, like that would be great if I like came up with something for like that for my brand.
Yeah.
But it's like when you have it's like, imagine like for a person who actually is like into marketing, went to school for marketing, and actually like enjoys it, and is like really like almost just expert, probably, who's done some of the biggest marketing projects. Imagine that, like you saying like, all right, in order for you to be successful, you have to learn an instrument. You have to be good at playing it.
Yeah. You gotta learn music.
And I'm have to be honest with you.
If you don't know how to read music, you're not gonna know how to.
Yeah, and I have to be honest with you, like that marketing shit that you just learned, all that marketing that you learned. It's probably going to be about 20% of 20% what's going to work for you.
Yeah.
So all those years that you learned,
so
that's what you're talking about. Is like how it's like,
if you don't know your skills,
you put all those years into your specialty, and so that's what I really believe is that where you say the marketing needs to step up. I think it's people who I think people need to know their role. People should have more fun, not being like necessarily the I guess the creator. It's more the seller.
Yeah, which those people exist. They're in college classrooms right now.
You're absolutely right.
I guess this is a public service announcement. This is PSA. This is a call to action for all college students. If you're right now in a classroom learning marketing, and you're not helping your homie from back in the neighborhood who has a mixtape,
but actually good music, by the way, good product.
Good or not. Yeah. Or not, because honestly, some of the best marketing is for music.
There's enough talent out there.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is just actually it's a bigger challenge if you market the crap out of an artist who's crap. Right. So I just think if you're in college right now and if you're trying to get a marketing degree, you should also be working with your musician friends, or if you don't have musician friends, go to your college band room.
Have some kind of like passion project.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, you have to have something on the side where you're applying what you're learning, and not just at school, but where you're learning from the the field that is scrolling through social media and seeing what pops up on your feed and on your viral For You page, and asking, why is that in my For You page? Why is that being shown to me? Like, what is the why does it have 300,000 shares? And you know what I mean?
Yeah. But see, okay, do you hear how you're talking though? How you're saying, like, you know, why 300,000 shares, numbers, all that.
Yes.
That is that's something that has, I think, infiltrated a lot of both consumer and producers' minds. And this is back to what I was wanting to talk to him about. Is there's a pendulum swing happening right now, where people are now kind of starting to be aware that they're seeing things this way, that they're paying attention to the numbers, and that, like, it's
and
almost
the hooks,
like, and the hooks, and it's almost like, if there's something that I've always actually liked about Gen Z, is that they're pretty good at
calling the bull.
They're pretty good at that.
Yeah.
I think each generation is just going to keep getting better at that. Because it's just like they kind of like, they have this attention to subtlety. Oof. And I think that comes with just their, like, very fast moving brains, and just like faster than, like, what should be normal. Yeah. But they have the attention to subtlety, and they have attention to, quote, vibes. And no, it's true. It's a vibe, and it's definitely something where, at first, you know, you're more primal, you know, kind of just your primitive part of your brain. The more like, okay, like, I'm gonna get hooked on this. It's like, you know, if it's candy and it's your first time having candy, like, you're gonna be like, this is so good, and like you're going to have it for a while, but then, like, you're gonna start realizing over time, like, how that's not really good for you. And you're like, I'm kind of tired of having candy, like, after, like, dinner every single time. Right. Even though it's gonna be probably hard to stop, like, having that candy, but, like, you still now have it in your brain. It's like, I don't really want to do this candy thing anymore. Like, this kind of sucks. Like, it's like, I'm over it, and I know it's not good for me. I'm hearing that it's not good. I can kind of see it's not good, but it's not harmful to where it's like let's demonize it. Like I'm not sitting here saying let's demonize marketing or demonize this, like, form of marketing, or this hooky thing. This, you know, like, yeah, exactly. Or this shameless self-promotion. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not demonizing it. I'm just saying that it's like, I know that there's a lot of people that are like, do we really need to be doing this? And we don't.
People that are like, yo, that the work should speak for themselves. They don't need to be putting a caption and thinking of a hook for
it.
And
this is like, dude, not cope. This is not cope. This is literally just a thought that I'm like, come on. Like, I'm not saying that we shouldn't have good marketing. That's what makes this whole thing fun. That's what makes this whole thing creative. But I'm really speaking more on just, like, what we were saying earlier. It should not be the make or break. It's like, if you have good marketing on the internet, even too, just the internet is just one. Like, there are bands and even, like, dubstep artists or, like, even house artists that really are not on the internet like that. They're not on Instagram because they are able to kind of just have, like, this way of, you know, whether be they just have awesome sets, or they just have really good, like, you know, word of mouth marketing,
great music, great albums.
Great album. Like,
I love Streetlight Manifesto. I don't follow them on Instagram. I don't have because they don't have a social media presence. There's no presence there because they don't. I mean, they've gained what they've gained because of their musicianship and because of their consistency, you know, and, like, so they obviously, since before social media were popping, and even bands now that, like, don't really focus so much on that, but word of mouth is still a thing. Street marketing is still a thing.
Yes,
you know, they're still actually sometimes it's even more effective than, because algorithms lie, algorithms change, they fluctuate. So street marketing, you're never gonna, you know, you're always gonna get the results that you want from going out there and spreading the word and making connections with human beings and saying, hey, this is my art, do you like it? Yes. Like, you get that instant response. There's no, you know, because when we're scrolling, man, like, we're scrolling nowadays, we don't stop to think. Literally, we don't stop to think.
The scroll is literally, like, and what's crazy too, and is I think that's kind of also the thing that us as producers, or just everybody as creators, is kind of like maybe not realizing right away, but that scroll and that thing where it's like, yes, we got that viral moment, or like, yeah, like we got like, I guarantee you right now, if we have a video that gets like 800,000 views, we'd be talking about it for the next 2 or 3 weeks. We'd be like, bro, we did it, bro. We got to try to get something like that again. Mm-hmm. We need to do it again. We need to do it again. And it's like we're trying to replicate something that where it's like, what if it's just a fluke? What if it was just something where it's like, okay, like, you know, that's probably only going to happen one time?
I mean, that kind of happened with us because, like, we went viral for the DJ car stuff.
Yeah.
And even, it's funny because we went viral on Instagram when we posted it, and then when 2 other accounts stole it and reposted it.
Yeah.
And they all went viral.
Yeah, did a lot
But
better,
then on TikTok, it got 200 plays.
Right. Yeah.
So it's just like, that goes to show, like, even like what is supposed to make the algorithm pop can fluctuate between accounts, between platforms. Yeah. And so it's very interesting, bro, because, like, we were just having this discussion that, you know, that with lemon pepper, you guys want to do some more street marketing, or at least you were saying you want to you want to do street promo, and some people oppose because it's not, you know, it's outdated, but not really, because there's even what you know what is not outdated, the algorithm. It's actually very, very, very predated, or it's you know, like it's we don't know enough about it, and it's still being developed, and it's still learning itself, and it's still doing whatever it is that algorithms do. So in that, you're sacrificing the connection you could be making with the crowd or with your audience.
I like to just put it as the algorithm is going based off of popularity. It goes based off, and so it's like, when you gain popularity, it's like it just works for people that it's already working for. You know what I'm saying? It works, and so like the algorithm doesn't work for people who are trying to say, "Hey, here's this new thing that people are very likely going to like." You can't have a sample size of 200. That's too small. I think that's really where TikTok messed it up. Is that it's like 200 is not enough for you to average out. Okay, yeah, because like. Yeah. What if it's very niche? How do you really know? Like, you can't even know off of hashtags either. You know, you can't. That's
a good point.
So I do believe that, like, that
and they did away with hashtags. So
yeah, exactly. And I never really even thought hashtags weren't that much anyway.
So I'm sure they'll do away with more of this crap because it's unnecessary. It's just, I guess, like you said, they're testing it out. Like,
yeah, but the point I was making about the whole popularity thing is that, like, we have a duty now, which is why I bring up the whole like street promotion thing, is that we have a duty to figure out how to create popularity so that then once there's just kind of enough there to where we have like engagement from our real life people, our IRL people who, you know, when they come to the party, we say, hey, like, follow us, like, show love, like, you know, they become regulars or whatever it may be, however you're connecting to real people, you know. But the main reason why I bring up the street promoter thing is because it's nothing to pay, at least in my opinion, it's nothing to pay somebody who's in college and really doesn't really make that much money. Like, they probably just got like some side job and like they're already paying them for all the, you know, for so much. So, you know, pay a person $100, $150, say, hey, bring 50 of your friends to this party, and you'll get another $100 on top of that.
Yeah, people about the money, man. They will hustle. You tell somebody more than the algorithm. You put $100 on Facebook ads. They don't care.
And I have something.
But you put $100 in a young college student's hands and say, "Yo, bring your friends." They bring in their friends.
And I have something even better. I guarantee the smarter ones too will go to the popular kid and say, "Hey, like, tell your friends." And then guess what? The popular kids will be like, "Oh yeah, I want to do that shit too." Mm-hmm. And I'm only saying from my own experiences that school is school. Doesn't matter if you're on the internet. People are not on their phones as much in school. You want to know why? Because they're actually getting the social experience. So that's actually secondary to them, the internet.
Right.
Just believe it or not, it really is. That's why you actually don't see them on as much. You see them on Snapchat so they can tell the other IL friends where I'm at, where, you know, come meet up with me or whatever. This is what I got going on. That's just one example, but the thing is with the whole, like I said, the street marketing, the people at these schools, or even people who are, are out of college, just people who like, go out to these things, but go out to events and just regular events, not like drinking and like, clubs and stuff, like maybe like run clubs and stuff, or, the beach, these beach events, whatever it may be. But it's people who are willing to talk about this thing, with incentive. They're like, hey, I'll get paid, this is good. And it's like, they then will go there and they'll be like, oh wow, I actually do like to party. This is fun, a lot of fun. Like, I really like the music. And like, I think that once you start to then bring that community in, and you have people who are, coming to your parties and they're actually like enjoying it, you don't even need the internet at that point, because people are then like talking. Like, that's how a lot of these dive bars get so big, because it's like, that's just the spot. That's like, that's just where everybody likes to go, And I like to think that music works the same way. Music works in a way where if you can find a way to connect with people outside of the internet, and that's, I don't know, maybe finding somebody who's really good on Discord or like Reddit or something, that's like, talking to people in a certain age group or something. I don't know. There's so many different ways to go about it.
Finding the tastemakers, if you will, of the internet.
Yeah, and not doing necessarily like trying to just constantly market to just the random person.
Yeah.
And the whole, which I forgot to mention, which maybe you can edit to put in the front, but like how I said, you could easily spend $100, $150 per, per promoter, per person, whatever. That's what you would be spending per ad on Instagram to just like go out to a bunch of random people who are like, who really don't have like a person that they know saying like, yo, go to this thing. This thing is going to be good. It's actually good. Like, it's going to be good. Even if they know, like, even if they don't even think it's going to be good, they have to say that so they can have people go there. Yeah. And it's like, I know people would be like, well, dude, that means you're paying people to come to your party. It's like, yes and no. Like, we're doing it in a way where it's like, we're putting money in people's pockets. We're stimulating this like club culture economy in a way, and our party's good, brother. Sorry, our party is good. Like, our party is good. I wouldn't, make you say like, yeah, come to this awesome party. Like, it's worth it, and everybody wants to have a spot to know to go to. They want to, like, people want to know, like, fuck, it's a fucking Wednesday. I have tomorrow off. I want to do something. It's a Wednesday. What is there to do on a Wednesday?
Right.
There
your cousin's in from out of town.
Yeah, exactly. It happens sometimes.
You ain't trying to stay
a
at
layover, maybe. Something like so.
Yeah.
Miami International Airport. It happens sometimes. People have those random layovers. Or maybe they're
layover,
coming home from a cruise or something.
When I have layovers in I have layover. If I have a layover in Texas, like, I'm screwed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm stay at the airport, find a nice pillow, and just sleep. You feel me? But in certain places, Miami don't got it yet. But Vegas, I love a layover in Vegas.
Yeah.
A layover in Vegas, I'm chilling. Like, I'll go out, play a little bit of blackjack. You know what I mean? I'll go down the street. I like, there's live entertainment. There's magic shows happening till late. We'll do it.
I didn't get back to the pendulum. I didn't finish the pendulum swing thing.
Yeah.
So I was saying that Gen Z is really good at like picking up these subtleties, and I do believe that they're starting to be like, okay, like, enough with the hook stuff. And I don't think anybody's actually even stated that. It's definitely something where people are going to, because it's too much information. I think that's another thing. I think that's like, maybe this is just my perspective, but bro, we're all human. We are all very much alike. We are so much more alike than we could ever imagine. And this is all too much information for us to take in. The more we're being told, hey, you got to get better marketing. You got to get it better. You know what that means? That means we're having to hijack even more of these people's attention. We're having to be like, oh, hey, hello, hey. Like, we're trying even harder. So, like, the bar is getting higher and higher and higher and higher for people's attention. And there's got to be a threshold on the consumer side where they're like, okay, absolutely. I'm done. I'm tired of being marketed to. I'm tired of being marketed to. There's got to be a threshold there for the person. We are still pushing, and we're only doing it because we're being told that we have to. We're not doing it because we want to. We feel we do genuinely sometimes feel annoying saying like, hey, like, check out our thing, or like even just like coming up with these captions like, here's what we did, guys, and it's not because we think we're too good to do that. It has nothing to do with that. We want to be comfortable with being able to do that. We really do. But I think that us having this kind of almost emotional, natural pushback to this, to us wanting to do these like weird, is because it's like we just don't feel like it's gonna have longevity. I don't think this is how people are always gonna be perceiving and consuming art or content, just information in general.
It's a good first step to normalcy.
Yeah,
back to normalcy.
Right, which is, I think, like, this pendulum swing. I do believe that we are pretty much at the end of just this like brain rot form of, Yeah, I mean, it's definitely. I mean, I'm never gonna say that it's not gonna still have a lot of people where they are like pretty much ruled by like this like massive because again, like these companies or these platforms are made to just like really hijack your attention, and it's really hard for people to, it's very good entertainment, but I think people are going to realize that the true form of like things like socializing, true forms of health, true forms of even entertainment, you go and see live entertainment, that you have a much better takeaway from that than just watching just a YouTube video, which you watching a good YouTube video of actual live performance is good too, but I really do recommend getting out, going out and this supporting these smaller acts, which is what the whole point of this street promo is. Like, I think that people are going to, if we maybe we might be the people to help kind of bring that back into,
I hope so.
We might be a part of this pendulum swing. So
we gotta try our best.
So
we'll do our part. Yeah. Well, for the outro, just thank you for checking out the podcast. I hope that you could take away a couple of things that,
and maybe and like also like, hey, like you're not the only one that probably feels this way.
Everybody, man, all our friends, all our artists friends, big and small, like people, famous people and people that just started are on the same boat, so.
But yeah, like I don't get discouraged if you feel as though people are maybe ahead of you because you're like, damn, like he just gets it. No, just get inspired by it. Take notes, be a student of the game. Don't and just keep figuring this out. Keep figuring it out.
And that's advice to ourselves too, because
all the way
we find ourselves caught up in that often. So it's just a good reminder to you and me as well, because boy, is it difficult to
marketing with tastemakers, right?
Yes. Don't compare yourself.
No comparison.
Comparison
is the thief of joy.
Thank you, Lord.
Thank you, Lord.